Okay, today we're in EP2. We're doing build a simple capacitor activity. This is what it looks like. It's in block 3 of your project 4. And it gives you the materials: aluminum foil, transparency film, catalog sheets, multimeter, scissors, heavy item, which is a book, and a ruler. Here's a transparency sheet, a ruler, some aluminum foil, and scissors that we use to cut it up. And we've got two groups over here working today. We have Tom, Matthew, Gavin, Joseph, and Ethan. We're going to go back and forth and show you this lab so you can actually fill out this sheet and get credit. So in the first situation, we have the two sheets of aluminum foil with the transparency in between, which is this. We're going to take a reading. We have our multimeter set on capacitance. Right now it's at a 0.06. You guys touch those leads and see if we can get a reading. So they're going to touch the lead on each side of the sandwich, and they're getting like a 3.47, 3.5, and they're going to write that in that first block. So that's just one piece of transparency film in between two sheets of aluminum, so we actually get a reading. Now the second step, what do we have in there? We have two sheets of transparency film, right? In here, and what you may do is just leave the meter in the middle, guys, so you don't have to run it back and forth. So we have it over here. We have two sheets of transparency film, about 80% overlap on it. They're testing on each end, and you're having a 2.77, so the number's a little less. You're getting more distance in between the aluminum, so it looks like our number's what, Gavin? Dropping a little bit? We can turn it this way. Dropping slightly, 2.76. And we're going to come back to Tom and Ethan again. Now we have three sheets of transparency film in between. We're going to see what more distance between the two sheets of aluminum does. So they have it set up and ready. They have the lead on each side. Okay. Oh, it's dropped even farther. It's 1.5 or 1.661 NF. So it's a little bit less again. All right, so now we're going to come back. They're setting up where we had 80% overlap on the foil before. We're going to do a 50% overlap and see if that affects the reading on it. Gavin, I want to say very carefully getting his measurement on, which is very important in this for consistency. I got the pressure on them. They got the two ends touched, and they got a 2.73 at 50%. So we've dropped almost, what, 0.8 from 3.5 with one sheet, or at 80%, to down to 2.76 with 50%. Tom and Ethan are going to just show 20% overlap on it and see what the drop off is here. We're seeing a consistent drop off. They're touching it. It's down to about a 0.84 to 0.9. So it's dropped down even farther because you don't have the overlap, you don't have the contacts, you don't have the surface area to provide the capacitance. Now the next step in here, we are going pretty quick. These guys, it took them about a half hour to do it the first time. Now we're substituting one piece of transparency film for 3 sheets of catalog paper. And they're getting it set up with an 80% overlap. And they have it in, they have it on. Wow, we're getting a 2.63. So actually, it's a little less than with the transparency film, but probably a larger reading. Did you guys think it was going to read that high?
No.
No, we figured it'd be a little bit lower than that. Now we're going to come back. What do we have now with one sheet of transparency film back to 80%? What was the number to begin with, Joseph? You're supposed to be keeping track of this for us. Okay, so what you've got, one sheet again, 80% coverage. Go ahead and touch them, guys. See what you got. 3.57. I think we had around that to begin with. So we're consistent coming back and forth through these. We wanted to test it again. Okay. Now what we did have, I'm going to run through this paper. Joseph must have lost track of it on here for me. He was supposed to keep track of this for you guys. So page 2 on here. That was the reading they got in their initial was 3.38. We showed just a 3.5, so it's pretty close again. And then we went to the next step. Here's what they got with one sheet, 2 sheets, and 3 sheets on it. And then they started pulling it apart, 80%, 50%, and 20% numbers. And they did answer the question, it had an increase. And then the last page, switching it with the magazine or the catalog pages, and it shows the drop off between the transparency and the catalog pages. So thank these guys for putting this together. Say hi, you guys are big heroes now.